Let's see. My wife and I, we've been married for 21 years now. Believe it or not, 20 years ago, I was not what I am sitting here today. I was a I wouldn't consider myself a preppy person at the time. I wore khakis. I wore polo shirts. I wore blue jeans. I'm a blue collar worker. I worked on a loading dock. I'll never forget it. Edith, we walked into a dealership in Clarksville, and out of all the motorcycles, all the new motorcycles, all the new Harley Davidsons that were there, and this one older model stuck out. It had ape hangers on it. I mean, they were sticking up way above anything else in the dealership. All you could see were these handlebars sticking way up in the air. And Edith said, "That's the one." She said, "I love that." I said, "What?" I said, "Are you serious?" And we went over, looked at it, and here it was. It was an older '94 model. It had been chopped out, raked, all shade tree. That day, I honestly fell in love with that lifestyle, with the Harley Davidson brand, with the lifestyle. And from that day on, I've been tinkering, adjusting, tearing down, putting together, painting. I was raised in a good family. I'm a cradle Catholic. I went to Catholic school. I was taught by nuns. When I left Catholic school, I still continued my education in the Catholic faith and everything. But it was just that. It was something my mother and my father wanted me to do. My dad, he was in the airborne, stationed out here at Fort Campbell, where I was born. He was a professional military person. He went to Korea. He made several tours in Vietnam. And my mother pretty much, well, through those times, you know, she raised me and my brother and everything. Even when Dad was home, he was still GI. I felt like it was always, you know, straighten up. It was always cut your hair. It was always, you know, tie your shoes. So me and Dad really never had a friendship. When he retired, he purchased a farm. And the farming was, I was a teenager when we bought the farm, or when my dad bought the farm. So I was starting to live the teenage life. During the day, you know, my dad expected me to help out with the farm. And it wasn't at that time, that was not my idea of the way I wanted my life to be. So as soon as I could, I moved out. I left my father's house and everything, and I got a place of my own. And with that freedom, I chose to, you know, stop going to church and everything. I would go Easter, or I would go Christmas, you know, and that was about it, you know. So I had pretty much I was out of my father's, underneath my father's roof, so I was gonna go my own way. And I still believed in God, you know. I still prayed off and on. But I really wasn't a practicing Catholic. I really wasn't practicing my faith. And for 15 years, I didn't. My first wife, we just never did really become a family. I was out doing my thing, and I wasn't a very good husband. I'm sad to say I really wasn't a very good father. I definitely was not a very good Catholic. And that was the road I chose to go down. It was the wrong road. And after 15 years, the marriage finally developed into a divorce. I still wasn't practicing my faith even after divorce. And after divorce is when I met Edith. She was a Baptist. She was raising her daughter in the Baptist faith. She really wasn't going to church the way her parents raised her either. You know, it was a hit and miss. Easter, Father's Day, Mother's Day, Christmas, you know. And her daughter was really was the main turning point in my faith. She was the only one that was actually going on a regular basis to church, and she was going with her grandparents. Me and Edith talked about it and everything, said, you know, our daughters are trying to go to church. You know, maybe we should try to, you know, support them in that by going ourselves. The following Sunday, we would go to the Catholic Church, St. Peter and Paul, here in Hopkinsville. It was a small church. It was an old church, and I believe that was really Edith's first introduction to Catholicism. And Edith just tapped me and she says, I want to become a Catholic. The even fact that she had to have her previous marriage annulled, and mine also, she was fine with that. Edith was baptized, she was confirmed, and we're both now are a faithful practicing Catholics. We both falter at times, but we both realize our faults. We both enjoy the sacraments. We both enjoy the faith. We both try to live the faith every day. Everything was, like I said, fast-paced. I was living the lifestyle. Edith was living the lifestyle with me, and everything was great. And October the 4th, I was on my way to work. I was on my motorcycle. Everything was fine. It was early on a Saturday morning in October. I was going to a diner to get a cup of coffee before I went to work. And an a-hole ran a red light, grabbing a pack of cigarettes, and T-boned me in an intersection. I lost my right leg in the accident. I was life flighted to Vanderbilt Medical Center in Nashville. By the time I was in the operating room in Vanderbilt, they had told my wife that I probably wasn't going to make it. They couldn't stop the bleeding. Amputation was amputation. That was a have to. There was nothing left of my lower right leg, and in order to stop the bleeding, they had to amputate, and maybe, just possibly, if they get the bleeding stopped, they might save my life. The surgeons were able to amputate and stop the bleeding and basically save my life for whatever reason. Directly after the accident, after I was healing back up, I was fitted for a prosthetic. My life changed drastically. I don't have a 9-to-5 job any longer. I can do everything at my own pace. I'm afforded time to spend with my parents, and actually I have a relationship with my dad and my mother that I've never had. My dad and myself, you put us in a room in the past, and within 10 minutes we'd be arguing with each other. Now, since the accident, my father's into, of course, he's retired also now, and he's refurbishing old cars, he's restoring old cars and everything. And our relationship, we can actually work together now. We can actually sit down and talk to each other. We're friends. We can be friends. I enjoy being around him. I enjoy laughing with him, drinking a beer with him, working with him, just being around him. And it took something as drastic as this accident was to get me to that place. And it's opened up a relationship that I honestly never thought I would ever have. When everything is fine and everybody's healthy and everybody got all their limbs and appendages, you know, we don't think about God. I definitely didn't think about God as I got up every morning and walked out to my motorcycle. Believe me, every morning I get up now, I think about God and the ability to walk.